Cool.
All right, D, go ahead, take it away.
All right, boom. To start off, uh, well, I'm author Derek Polite. I'm here with my good friend.
Yeah.
Let you introduce yourself.
Oh, got you. Jannar Sims, man. Shit, just a regular guy here, man. Speaking my opinion.
Hey,
That's it.
and we're gonna start off with today's topic, which is give your black child a voice. In the black community, a lot of times is shut up, do what I say, and the children be full of expression. They have a lot to say, and they want to be listened to. Uh, they want to be corrected. They enjoy fairness. You know what I mean? And I just think expression is huge. Nike got made billions of dollars off just do it. You know what I mean? And uh, allow your children to express themselves. We express ourselves in sports. You know, the first thing comes to our mind, we just say it. You know,
Yeah.
the, the lack of expression, uh, to me, what leads to the lack of confidence, and that's the sad part. You know, it leads to resentment, and resentment leads to anger. You know what I mean? Being yelled at out of your own frustration by your parent, their own frustration, they yelled at you.
Yeah.
So that's
I feel like the root of that is the parents were treated a certain way, like getting yelled at. So as soon as they get kids, they don't see them as individuals. It's like, no, I pay for you, I take care of you, so you listen to me. Like, like they don't see them as individual with their own thought process unless that thought process lines up with what they think.
okay.
So I think that being said, um, everybody as a whole need to do a better job with that. Like the kids, they learn quickly, you know, due to society and other things, so they get opinionated a little bit more quickly. So it's okay to listen and correct, but just don't shoot down everything that they say. You know, take a chance out, listen to them. It may, most of them may not be right, but just tell them why it's not right, not just no. And
Correct them. And like when I first got to telling, and when we were Deion Sanders got elected to the Hall of Fame in 2011, and one thing he said at his Hall of Fame speech was that your parents don't condone what they don't understand. So when you have this big thought, this big vision, they don't understand, they don't condone it because they just flat out don't understand it. So you have to plow through it, persist, and make it a reality just to show them. Because you best believe that's what they did with their people. They don't went and got the check a whole lot earlier,
yeah,
but they just don't condone what they don't understand.
yeah, that was a big part of it. I mean, and there's fear involved of it. Like I always say, like a person, you know, can't lead you to somewhere they never been, they don't know about. So first they go do is tell you, hey, no, man, shut the door on that. You know, that's a lot with just being conditioned to settle. I mean,
Yes.
in our community, you know, we've been conditioned to, hey, we good at sports and you know a couple other things, and you just settle for that. Like, so anything outside those social norms, we kind of
Right.
just frown upon it, or you know, we don't want to hear too much about it, and we kind of
And then
limit that
that,
stuff.
and then that's where the lack of confidence comes in at, because you're strong over here in this field, but you're gonna also need this skill and this skill and this skill to progress. You know what I mean? So that's just where a great start where the lack of confidence comes in at. Um, the resentment factor. You know, you always being told that no, you can't do it. You need to go get a job if you want that. And you only are 14, 15 years old, you can't go get a job. So when you finally do get a job, you finna put all the money that you made into what you want and not finna listen to what, you know what I mean, the adult correction about what you need to do because they done came down on you so hard.
Yeah, it's another spin to that in the first place because some kids that get those jobs and try to chase their dreams, well now the parents they give them a bill. They're like, hey, here's
Yeah.
here's a bill. Like, damn, what's the point of me working if I gotta pay these bills? I'm just giving my money to you know
Yeah.
you shit. I might as well just be broke and not give my money to you because now I'm working and I'm still not getting any money.
Right.
So that's another way of hindering our children. Like, hey man, let the kids be kids, man. You're pushing them into some things that they don't need to be in. You're making them grow up a lot faster than they need to, and that's hindering a lot of kids, and that's caused resentment too. Like, the kids weren't allowed to be kids. You gave them adult duties, but treated them like kids.
Mm,
So
mm, mm.
that's a lot going into that. So
It's understanding that you give them the responsibility because they're gonna need to apply that skill, that shit skill that you done taught them at a young age. So by the time they do get up, they understand what they gotta do to handle their business instead of like, you never taught me how to save, you never taught me to be patient, you never taught me what the skills that I need to survive out here. Like that's a large part of you just talk shit to me and talk at me about what I need to do to fend for myself. So now that I might be fending for myself, I'm not being considerate. I'm not thinking about others like that. You know what I mean? I'm just out here fending for myself because this is what I was told. I need to get me a job and I need to do what I gotta do for me.
yeah, I mean, that's a lot of things that happen in our community because shit, we weren't taught, how to handle these situations. So we just go by what we know. I mean, as adults, as parents, that's what usually happens. Not saying, that's an excuse, but I think you just need education and just tell, hey, these aren't the right things to do with these kids. Like, if they have a job, for the most part, of course, you might need some help, but let those guys keep most of their money. Let them see it, see what they're working for.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let them have some responsibility with their own money management. Teach them that. Then they'll never learn money management. You take all the money from them. Like,
Money from.
and so that's a big part of resentment and just being, like I said, on that level, being shut out, being yelled at. I mean, our coaching shit, yelling is a stereotype that we get in our coach that your mom go yell at you, your dad go yell at you, and that's just normal. That's normal communication between child, and parent. I mean, and sometimes, yeah, you may have to yell at them, but when it's consistent about shit, everything, they break a dish and you yell at them. Saying they break a plate, you yell at them. Shit, if you drop a plate, you gonna yell at yourself. You're not gonna do that.
Yes.
You're a human being. They're a human being just like you. So they make a mistake. You try to beat them or yell at them. But if you make that same mistake, you're like, oh, it's cool. Nah, it can't be on that level.
Exactly. And that goes hand in hand with why is it at 6 years old, they so full of love, and by the time they turn 18, all the love and forgiveness is taken out of them because of what you just said. You done dropped the plate and you done yelled at them and cussed them out. Like, oh my gosh. So now they done been conditioned and built with this mindset, raised with this mindset. You know what? My fuse is that quick. And if you do something like that, I'm already frustrated personally. So you done did that. You done took me over the top. So to me, that's why a lot of the love and forgiveness is out of the children by the time they turn 18 because of the quick snapping, the non-understanding. You do something, but it's okay. But when I do something, it's not okay. So now I'm gonna take that with me to adulthood, and not also into adulthood. You know, the my people skills ain't all the way there. You know what I mean? I can't sit up here and talk to people properly. I don't know how to sit up here and listen and be understanding. I don't know how to apply myself when I'm trying for me to go get a job because you never was taught that. And it's so full of anger everywhere that you at growing up that okay, now it's time for me to calm down, get dressed professionally, get my speech correct, and let me go get a job. And I got to go to Google because I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, I mean that's a big thing. Like saying, some people don't teach their kids, hey, this how to go through a job interview. Some schools don't have those programs on how to go through a job interview, how to do those things. I mean, when I see how-to videos on how to just talk to a person. Like people don't have communication skills just in general. I mean, that's just on another topic. I feel like social media has taken away our communication skills, in-person communication skills. That's just on another tangent, but they just don't have those skills naturally, and their parents don't either now. So, and
Mm,
it's kind of hard to teach those kids without how-to videos of looking up on Google because only a certain amount of people really even have expertise in that. And it's sad that just talking to somebody you need expertise, like having a normal communication. But that's the age that we live in now, the day that we live in. So you just got to go by that and try to teach our kids, invest more into those kids, just holistically, not just in sports, not just in stuff that we deem as, culturally acceptable. Like, that's one of my basic things, how we have to just come about it and just come to our community and do those things.
exactly. And also, raising them and giving them a voice too, and escaping gossip and who fucking who and who cheating on who and what's the latest going on over in social media. You know what I mean? Like, give them a real voice. Ask them what they think about something after y'all watched it together. And you know what I mean? That's a good solution. Give them a voice. Ask them what they think. Y'all watch this together. Ask them what they think. You know what I mean? Correct them if they're wrong, and just give them, be okay with them expressing themselves, because expression is huge out here. We need expression so bad. And seeing is that we ain't got none, it's super tough out here like that. The children have no voice, but they're quick to get into gossip though. Like they know who with who cheating on who just from in their parents' mouth. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So definitely give them the skill to have a real conversation about what's on out there, because that's what it's about most of all.
I mean,
For real.
I think during that most parents, the kids know gossip because when it comes to gossip and communication, they either let their kids be around it or treat them like a friend and also gossip to them. Like,
For
so
real.
that's one of the things, by letting the kid be a kid. Like, hey, if you don't want the kid doing all these grown things, let's keep them out of grown folks' business at this time, and
Exactly.
you
Because
know, just ask
and
them, opinions about different things, keep them in a child place. Don't hinder them in the dark. If they hear something and they heard it, okay, now it's your time to explain these situations to them. Don't let it just linger and, oh, it'll be okay. Because they have taken in the information and have to process it alone and decipher what's wrong or right. So,
exactly. Because back in the 90s, real quick, my mother, my big sister, they told us in a second, get out of grown folks' mouth, take your ass outside and go play. They not telling these children to get out of grown folks' mouth, period. And they damn sure ain't outside playing. They just not doing those two things. So
they got the children in the grown folks business, man. they they got the children in the grown folks business, man. They definitely a part of it, man. Yeah, it's a little kid cussing, doing all that, man. They think it's cute, man. They think it's, that's cool, man. Oh,
and
this
you
guy,
think
this guy's bad. This guy, like, man, hey, that's a reflection of you. They don't understand. I'm like, that's a reflection of you. Like, of course, kids gonna be kids, but when it goes overboard, man, it's not funny, bro. That's a reflection of you. And now, when he ends up in trouble, when he ends up doing all these bad things, like, oh, I don't know where he got that from. Yes, you do. You've been raising that the whole time. So you just been laughing at it until it had consequences behind it. And now it'd be our fault as a parent if we let those things happen. So we gotta take
exactly,
responsibility of what happened. You can't just leave it for the kid to raise themselves and shit. And you just sit there like, oh yeah, I gave him a house and I gave him some food. No, you got to give him more than that, man. You got to give him guidance.
God, direction. And everything you just said, it leads to can't accept the truth. The children can't, they grow not to accept the truth because you can't accept the truth. If you sit around here gossiping living in lies. These children see that and they know that. So when you come around somebody who actually speaking truth, you actually can't stand them because they not flagging. They being honest with everything they saying. What they're saying is true. It's just you've been built for a long time with false truths and lies, and you believe this shit. And so now the truth is just being smacked in your goddamn face. It's hard to let it go, but once you do let it go, you let go a lot of people that was around you who was living in lies. You let a lot of truth come into your life, and there's nothing wrong with that. Really spend a lot of time alone after that happens, but it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, the truth will always feel like an attack when you're doing wrong. When you living in other lies, the truth go always feel like an attack. 110%. You'll never get away from it. And it don't matter who's speaking the truth at that time, you will always feel like they're attacking you. Because you know in your soul, like you doing those things that they talking about. So
Yes,
your first thing to do is to either, disregard it, belittle it, or just say, "Oh, those things aren't true." But
get
you
angry is a motherfucking reaction too.
yeah,
Why would
I mean, all that comes with it. Yeah, yeah, they will get mad too, you know, and try to insult you, this and that, try to discredit you in some type of way. But even though you just speaking in general, you probably wasn't even speaking to them. You just speaking in general, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's where the problem comes in at too, because people don't understand. I'm just speaking in general, just speaking truth in general, and the person that I'm talking to is actually going through it. So I have to. Do I recognize that and stop talking, or personally, I'll be into explaining, helping, and loving. I won't just sit around like you say, I have a problem with that. You can admit that you have a problem with that instead of sitting around here just wanting to snap at first. Because snapping at first ain't gonna get you nowhere ever. It's gonna get you nowhere every time.
yeah, you just can't do that. You just can't. Our first emotion can't be anger. Like you said, you got to understand each other. At least try to come to a mutual agreement. Or shit, if we disagree, still make sure it's mutual. We hear each other out. Hear each other
Yes.
out because being realistic, everybody ain't gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I agree with that. I agree with it." It's not we individuals, but let's hear each other out peacefully so we can actually come up with solutions. So
Right. And parents just grasp this skill period and apply it to your children and correct them when they're wrong. But you must listen to them because once they do come up, I done wrote a whole book, Changes, Love, Loss, Struggle, and Triumph. It's on Amazon right now. You would think that, I've expressed a lot of, well, to my people, I've expressed a lot of resentment, but you could read and could tell that, it could be possibly some resentment there because, at the end of the day, you remember being treated wrong, you remember what was not right, you know what I mean? And you're gonna bring those things back up in adulthood because now you have the power, you have the strength, and you full of yourself personally, you know what I mean? Ego and pride is all in the way. I know what you did to me, so now I'm gonna reply to you. And you don't, as a parent, when the children grow up, you don't want that. For real. So
mhm.
give them some expression right now, some listening to right now. And as they grow, the thought will become better and better. It really would.
All right. So shit, just to come back full circle. I mean, our
Right.
solution, you kind of got into a little bit, our solutions of how to give our children a voice in the community, how you feel that, we start by making this, a thing in the community. How do we go about this process? A solution that we can give out.
A solution we can give out, well, I started it with expression, listening. Um, I used the kindergartens and first. I was a substitute teacher, so I speak about kindergarten, first, and second graders a lot because they're so full of love and forgiveness. And when they come home, they always drew something for their parent. They'll draw something for their teacher and give it to them. They want you to look at it and compliment them. When they on the swing, they want you to look at them and compliment them. And that goes all the way up until middle school and high school.
Mm-hmm.
Compliment them, because at the end of the day, it makes them feel really good when their people, their parent, is actually compliment them more than a stranger. Because once you get out here as an adult, you put this out and you put that out, you be wondering why people don't like your shit, and you've been friends forever. It's not necessarily no push against them, but a stranger will come and give you a lot of love, spend money with you and everything. So just make sure it's always love at home first.
Yeah. And I want to say just my solution about it is I think parents in the community should need to be nurturers, of course. And like I said, view our children as individuals, not just, oh, I give them a house, I give them a home, I give them food. They're not property, man. They not go think like you just because they come from you. You got to understand the individuals, listen to them, nurture them, be great teachers. That,
Mm.
like I said, that comes with listening to those guys and correcting them. So my solution is just try to think about, not how you were raised as a kid. Think about when you were a kid, how did you want your parents to treat you, and try to go
Mm.
from there. So
Mm.
that's kind of my solution to this whole problem. It's just giving kids a voice, letting kids have a voice, without being thrown into those adult roles. Just, let them talk, let them express themselves. That's kind of my solution for that topic. So, man, next topic, that I wanted to get into is just how do we build each other up just in the black community, instead of just bashing each other all the time, having just this sex war or just color, light skin, dark skin. Like, how do you feel like we go about building each other up?
Well, always and forever, we got to stop killing each other. You know what I mean? We got to understand each other. You know what I mean? And we got to say you love each other. You know what I mean? Say your feelings was hurt when your feelings was hurt. You know what I mean? Say you was sad when you was sad. You know what I mean? Actually express yourself and stop sitting around like, oh, I'm gonna be soft. Like it's like Judge Joe Brown said, this men's job is to protect the community and not women. I believe that. So I got to come to you, my brother, or my next brother, with nothing but open arms, open heart, open mind. You know what I mean? Like, let's get it in. Let's protect the women and the children in the community for sure. Protect them.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it'll do a lot to have just open conversations to see what we really expect from each other instead of putting our egos on the line saying, well, I'm gonna use this person for money or I'm gonna use this person for sex. I'm gonna do, just the foulest shit to them because we hear it in music. Like in our music, shit, tell you the truth. I mean, most of our music, we hear that thing and we try to put together those ideas and images and put it on myself. Like, and most of that, most people aren't even doing those things when they're pushing it out to the kids and to shit, even the adults. I mean, for the most part, and it leaks in our community, and we just kind of been at war with each other. I feel like for a long time, and it's stopping us from building. It's stopping us
Right.
from building, stopping us from growing. And I feel like we just need to understand each other and actually we'll stop going to war with each other and just, bro, it's okay to, have a relationship without 25 other people waiting on the sideline, without 20 side pieces. It's okay to just, connect with one person for that time being. It's nothing wrong with that, man. It's okay with building families, building up the community. It's okay doing that. Like, it ain't no lame thing to do that or get married or shit. Just try to work through your problem. Like, I don't think we have those work ethics that we think as a generation. If you're in a relationship and something go wrong, the relationship is wrong. No, you're two different people, so something will go wrong. Just how will you work on that together? Like, and I think in our generation is so used to instant gratification that like the slightest thing go wrong, Well, they got 200 people here already liking them and stuff like that. So they don't want to talk to you. They just gravitate to somebody that'll listen to their point and their side,
Mhm.
just so they'll feel right. And it's not about building anymore. So I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
shit, we just need to actually turn off all the side, all the distractions, all the social media, and just, especially in a relationship or just building, like talk to your partner, talk to significant other, just see, you know, where things are going wrong with how you can fix it. Like, it shouldn't be you versus your partner. It should be you and your partner versus the problem. Like,
Mhm.
I don't think people
Mhm.
understand that. And I think that's hurting us a lot. It's hurting us just building that black family again, building that up, and the
Need
black
that.
but where the black family at, we can have that construct. Now we can have build up black wealth and black community. So I think that's one of the roots to it, that we got to build the black family back up, and that's kind of hard when we at war with each other like that.
We need the black family, the black family, black family. We need the black family. That is for sure. And I definitely agree with you about that. Stand down, loving the person that you with, let them feed your focus and starve your distractions. That goes with women, that goes with friends, that goes with everything that's not within feeding your focus. And we gotta love each other. We gotta love each other. We don't got no problem with saying we love each other, but we gonna go shoot each other. We gonna go rob each other. We gonna go step on each other's toes real fast. We gotta be okay with saying we love each other and being there for each other. You know what I mean? And if you hurt my feelings, say you hurt my feelings. Admit that. Like I believe that. For real. And get that out.
And so, yeah, that's kind of my deal on that, man. Any closing remarks, man, that you need to put out? And talk.
Expression. I think expression is everything. Like, I wrote my book Changes. It's all about expression. You know what I mean? Like truth, it leads to truth and it leads you to, good people in my life like Jannard. Like people will express yourself, people accept you, and it leads to healing as well. Like expression is everything to me. Like you gotta express yourself. People not gonna like it. You can't make everybody happy. You gotta be okay with not making everybody happy.
Got to. You
You
damn
gotta
sure
be
got.
okay. You gotta be okay not pleasing everybody. You can't please everybody. But inner peace, I'm happy. I express myself. I'm happy on that. I have a lot of just just calmness when I express myself. I'm happy when I express myself. So just continue to express yourself in a positive way. Uh, like I said, my book Changes is about expression. Love changes, love, loss, struggle, and triumph. Um, I have a blueearthcrabsandseafood.com. Go check me out if you want to get some blue
Get,
crab,
get
snow
some good
crab.
food. Get some good food out there.
Know what I'm talking about?
In the Orlando area, man.
Yeah, Orange County, Florida. I swear to God, I get it too.
Yeah,
But most definitely.
but yeah, just my closing remarks, man. I feel like you said, spot on expression, just being there for each other, and in the mental aspect, man. Find your peace. If you gotta meditate, if you gotta talk to a therapist, man, you gotta seek any type of help that you trying to get, man. Don't let people discourage you from that, saying you weird and stuff. If you gotta see a therapist, talk to them, and get some of that trauma out, man, go ahead. Do that for yourself so you can be a better person.
Get
And
that coming out.
I mean, that's a whole nother topic we can talk about and probably will in the future, but just don't be scared of going down that line, man.
For real. And listen to your children. Give your black child expression because they're full of it. You don't want Nick Saban to walk in there and say, I want your child to come play for me. Then he go put him on the field and you see what your child can do. And been laying in your house for 18 years and you ain't never know they can do that. That's a problem. For
Yeah,
real.
that's what happens, man. What happens to us, man. So, like I said, man, just our little segment. Hope y'all guys enjoyed it. And
Yes.
all right, we out this bit.